Hi everybody, it's me, Tess, and today I'm here to do a little bit different video than what I normally do here on Tess Loves This Yarn. Normally we talk about the fiber arts, which is anything yarn, knitting, or crocheting, and basically all other things yarn, right? Today, though, I'm going to talk about something a little different. I'm going to talk about bullying, and I hope that you can spend a little bit of time with me and watch this video. I'm going to try very hard to make it only about 10 minutes or so. I want to start out by saying the definition of what bullying is. And this is the definition from Wikipedia. It says that bullying is the use of force, coercion, or threat to abuse, aggressively dominate, or intimidate another person. Okay? So that's what bullying is. According to the National Bullying Prevention Center, 1 in 5 students have experienced bullying, and also over 30% of adults as an adult have been bullied, and that's only the statistics that have been reported, okay? And so really when you look at that, those numbers could be even greater than that. There are different types of bullying. What I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to talk about 2 very briefly, and 1 I'm going to go a little more in depth on. The first form of bullying is physical bullying, and I think it's the most recognizable form of bullying, and that is when the person uses a physical action to gain control or power over another. So that's physical bullying. And of course that would include hitting, shoving, kicking, pushing, all those type of things. It's where that person is using physical interaction with you, okay? The other one is verbal. We're all familiar with verbal bullying. That's name calling. It's using words or statements to, gain power or control over someone else, okay? So those 2 forms, I think, are very recognizable and something that we're used to, especially us older people, because, when I was in school back in the 60s and 70s, we didn't have the other form of bullying that I'm going to talk about today, and that's cyberbullying. Because, back then we never thought you'd be able to have a computer sitting on your desk or have a computer in your pocket, right? Which is essentially what a smartphone is. So cyberbullying is really what I want to talk about right now, and that is using the internet or other technology to, to bully someone, to gain control or power over them in some way, okay? And in this age of the World Wide Web, technology and the internet and all things like that have really made social media platforms just explode, right? There are so many of them now. I could never name them all or list them all, right? Every country has different forms and numerous different forms of social media, okay? And so I think that because of this explosion with these new platforms, it has really become more of a hunting ground for bullies. Instead of being out there looking for people to bully face to face, people are being really bold and more problematic because there is now these platforms where they can find people to bully. They actually go there looking for victims, people they can victimize. It's very, very sad. And for the person being victimized, it's very uncertain because you don't know who that person really is. That person is creating an identity that they're using on these social platforms, and it's usually not their name, right? It's some identity that they have made up the name, and they're using that name out there. So as a person being victimized by a cyberbully, you don't know if that person is your next door neighbor or someone who lives on the other side of the world. You really have no way knowing unless that person crosses a line, and you can then take other avenues. And of course, those avenues are legal options that you may have against a cyberbully, which I will get into in just a minute here. I think in the big world of bullying that these cyber bullies, in a normal situation where if you were face to face with that person, they would never, and I say most of them because there are bullies out there who definitely would bully you face to face and probably would prefer that. But I think a lot of cyber bullies prefer anonymity. And because they are hiding behind their device or their screen with these made up identities or names that they use, they feel safe in saying whatever they want to whoever they want. And they feel like because they have that anonymity that they can bully people and get away with it. Yeah, it's very sad. And I am here to tell you that you have options if you are a victim of cyberbullying. Now, a lot of you know that I am a retired autism teacher. What a lot of you don't know is that I have a master's degree in applied behavior analysis. And what we do in the field of applied behavior analysis is we look at behaviors that are socially unacceptable, and we try to modify, replace, or extinguish those behaviors, okay, into socially acceptable behaviors, right? So, with that as my background, I want to give you some tips or options that what I think from my own experience that you can do if you are being bullied by a cyber bully. Number one is do not interact with this person. As I said, you don't know who this person really is. They could live down the street, they could live behind you, they could live on the other side of the world, and you would never ever have the chance of meeting them face to face. The troubling thing is you really don't know, right? So do not interact with that person for any reason. And I can tell you that most likely a cyber bully is bullying you to get interaction from you. That is probably the reason that those behaviors are occurring. Okay? So if you deny that reward for them, the behavior might extinguish on its own. They might just stop because they're not getting what they want from you. Okay? So that's number one. Do not interact for any reason. Number two, block the person. Just block them from your web page or your channel or whatever your social media platform is. Block them from your individual page or site, okay? Number 3, report them to the social media platform. A lot of our social media platforms have rules against cyber bullies, and they will remove them permanently from the platform. And what they do is they have ways of knowing, and I'm not going to say what it is. I don't want to give anybody any ideas, right? But they have ways of finding out who these people are, and they can block them, and they will. They have done it to people. So please report them. The fourth thing that I really want you to do immediately is check your privacy settings. Make sure that you don't have any information on there that someone can use to find out where you live, okay? That can be potentially dangerous. So don't put your address on social media sites. Don't put your phone number on social media sites. Don't do it. And if you can, don't even say your last name. Go by your first name. That's good enough. Okay? Don't give them anything that they can use against you. And the thing is you don't know when you're out there on your site if this person is going to be a bully or not. You just don't know until it happens. Okay? So that is my biggest set of tips right there for you, okay? The other thing that I do want to say is in the United States, most of our states have laws against bullying. They're anti-bully laws. And certain forms of bullying can be criminal offenses here. So if you are being bullied and that bully is scaring you in any way, shape, or form, call your law enforcement agency and see if that person is crossing the line. If they are, prosecute them. File charges. These bullies need to be stopped, and they need to be stopped in the worst way before it escalates into somebody getting hurt, okay? The last thing that I want to say to you, if you are being bullied, I do not care what you look like, how much you weigh, what the color of your skin is, what your ethnicity is, what your sexual orientation is, or anything else. Your religion, anything. I don't care. You are a human being, and you are perfect in every way. And please, please, do not let anyone tell you any different than that. Don't let them do it. Don't let them take your power. And if for some reason these bullies, if they are out there and victimizing you and you feel depressed about it or hopeless about it, or in any way it has damaged your self-esteem or has even created thoughts of self-harm, please reach out to someone, a trusted friend. If you're a teenager or child, reach out to an adult like your parent or someone that you trust. For you adults, reach out to your spouse, your parents, your trusted friends, your clergy, anyone whom you trust. And if you are just unable to do that, there are helpline numbers. And I am going to put a helpline number down below, okay? And please, if you need to call those lines, those people are there and they are there to help you, all right? And once again, I just want to say to you, you are perfect exactly as you are, okay? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. And you have to hold that in your mind and in your heart, all right? Every video I make, I tell people to be kind and to be safe out in the world no matter where you are. I say that in every video. And I want to tell you, if you're not feeling safe for any reason, please, please, please reach out and let someone know, all right? You are loved, even if you don't feel that you are. There are people out there who love you and who cherish you. And sometimes when we're so down on ourselves, we're not thinking right and we don't understand that. So please, trust me, all right? Because I care about everybody. I truly do. And I want you all, as always, to be kind and to be safe out there in the world, no matter where you are, okay? And I want to let Jennifer at Froggy Went a Knitting to know that I am tagging her as the next person in this series. So if you don't know Jennifer, please go see her, okay? And watch her video too. Love you all so much. I really, really do. Mwah. Bye, everybody.